Today's Barden video starts outside, and that, believe it or not, is a water bubbler for a cow. Cow comes up, pushes its nose against this, water bubbler fills up, cow drinks water. Now, this should come as no surprise to anyone who knows I live in the city. I don't have any cows. So, we're going to use this as a bird bath. So I need to figure out how to mount this thing, and then we're going to clean it up, and we're going to use it as a bird bath. So that should be kind of cool. I'm kind of happy about that. It's kind of interesting. My wife was inspired. She found this, and I didn't. So I think that's kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. Alright, on to media. We have Judge Dredd. This is IDW number 1. I don't know what this is. I've never seen this particular version of Dredd before, but it's been a while since I read a Dredd story. It was a book. I thought I'd read it and pass it on to somebody. Then we have the Wayward Puritans. And the blurb on the front is a study in the psychology of deviance. Should be interesting. I paid $2 for that. We have the True Work of Dying. A practical and compassionate guide to easing the dying process, because we all die. And Taking the Path of Zen. It's been a while since I read a book on Zen. Might be time for another one. Now we have some animation. We have Pixar Short Films Collection number 2, which was quite entertaining. And it's always nice seeing their work. They do such a nice job. I'm looking forward to seeing if I can find the rest of the series in these collections. It would be nice to have those. And we have Turbo, which was rather silly, but still fairly endearing. The characters were fun. Some nice voice work. With some pretty big names, so I was quite pleased with this film. And then we have Monsters University, and I got this still sealed for $3. It's got 2 Blu-ray discs and a DVD disc. So I'm going to give away the DVD because I'm not going to need it. I'll keep the 2 Blu-rays. So that was it was not as good as the first one, but I still found it entertaining. I enjoyed it, and it's something I will watch again in the future. Then we have Jack Black and Nacho Libre. I kind of like Jack Black. Some of his stuff goes to the top, but this had a kind of sweetness to it as far as the trailer was concerned. I'd never seen it, and I picked it up for $1. We have Cyborg Soldier. They engineered the perfect fighter. I guess we'll find out. I think I know who Tiffany Thiessen is, but the other two, Rick Franklin and Bruce Greenwood, I got no idea who they are. And we have a Kurt Russell cop procedural that I never heard of. Dark blue, never heard anything about it. So I'm like, I picked it up for $1. It's the special edition, which has got audio commentary with the director. Pity doesn't have Bruce. I have Kurt Russell because he's very entertaining. We have Apollo 18. I don't expect much from that, but it's science fiction horror, might be entertaining. Then we have Iron Man 3, which I'm not expecting much of at all. I didn't like the second one in the least. I enjoyed the first one, so we'll give it a shot, see what happens. And we have a chair or sofa caddy. These things fold out and they grip your arm, so you have a place to put things. And I'm actually thinking of using this with my mouse when I use my Chromebook when I'm sitting in my easy chair. That might be interesting. I paid a whole $1 for that at a yard sale. And if I don't like it, again, I paid $1 for it. We have a bag of figures, which I paid $3 from. It's got some mammals, dinosaurs, but I got it because it's got cavemen in it. So I want to take a look at some of those. I think they might have some potential as miniatures for RPGs, and the other figures I'll just give away. I don't think I need a giant zebra for anything. You know, at 25mm scale, that's a really big zebra. We have a NOAA alert weather radio. So you turn this on, and I currently have it in standby mode. And as long as that's blinking yellow, you're fine. If it goes red, you can then turn it on.
Chance of rain 70%.
And you get a warning. But right now, I'm just getting a general weather
smoky fog after midnight. Lows in the mid.
I got a nice signal here. Cool. Earlier, I'd been using it earlier, and I had a hard time getting a signal. Could have just been I didn't have the right setting, and then I found it. We have here a rolling pin, which is a solid rolling pin. These don't rotate, which is good, because I plan on weaponizing this as inspired by Fallout 4. We have this solid, not solid, but stone vase or planter, which is square, and then it had these pieces here machined out. And there's a price tag on the bottom of this from the Woodbridge Inn and Resort in Jasper, Georgia, for $145, which is absurd. But if it's a high-end resort, and they've been around since 1880, so they may have had something in their gift shop that was really, really overpriced. I paid $3 for this, and it's really heavy. Perfect if you wanted to plant bamboo in your house and you want your cats to knock it over. Your cats are not going to knock this over. I don't know if it's marble or jasper. Seeing as it's from Jasper, Georgia, maybe it's jasper. I'm not sure. I don't know squat about stone, but I like the color and it has a nice physicality to it. Then we have some bells. This one says Glad Tidings, so it's a Sarna greetings bell. My wife likes to collect those. Then this one, it's got no clapper. I'm going to put a clapper in it, but it has a decent sound, and I like the fact that it looks like a conquistador's helmet. I like that, and I picked that up for $1 at a yard sale. I have a couple of points here, which I really quite liked. Got a quartz and a smoky quartz, and I picked those up for $1 a piece at a flea market. Then we have this bear. Now this bear is hollow brass, and if you balance this on a point and you tap it, it actually has a nice tone. So I'm actually going to turn this into a bell or a chime. I'm going to drill a small hole here, and I'm going to hang it. Maybe there's something I just hit with a mallet or something, or a wooden mallet, or I may just try stringing up a weight in there and see if I can get a tone out of it by making my own clapper. But I bought this as a joke. My mother wants a brass Buddha figure, which I've been unable to find, but this is about the size and the style of figure she wants. This kind of, big-bellied Buddha style. So when I finally do find the Buddha figure, I'm going to hand this to her first. Say, here you go, here's your Buddha figure. And my mother's going to go like, what? And then I'm going to hand her the actual one, and I'll take this home and add it to our collection. But yeah, I'm going to drill a hole there, and I'm going to see if I can turn that into a bell. And we're going to be on to one more section up here. I now own my very own hard hat. This is a Safelite hard hat. This is a vintage model from the 1970s. It still has the New Hampshire Department of Highway sticker on it, and it used to belong to Raymond J. Evans. I picked it up at an estate sale of a woman that lived in her home till she was 101. So it's very likely that her husband wore this in the 70s, and then he retired, and it came home with him, and now I own it. It is wonderfully shiny. It's in remarkably good condition. It fits my head really well, and I didn't have to make any adjustments. If I were going to put a bandana under this, which I would probably do if I were going to wear it, I'd have to make a slight adjustment to the band. But it's really nice, and it's pretty. It's $2. I'm like, that's cool. Maybe I can use it in a costume or a cosplay or something, And then we have a set of spade bits. These are from my friend's toolbox, and they came in this nice custom holder. Somebody had this made, so I paid $5 for this whole set. So that's what 2, 4, 6, 7 bits for $5 in a custom-made holder. So you can't beat that. Then we have a set of chimes. And I got those at a yard sale for $2. We have my wife got a new bathrobe. It's terry lined, and it's got this nice waffly pattern on the outside. She doesn't like the color, but she's thinking that she can dye it. This is from something called the Hotel Collection. It's 100% cotton, made in Turkey, and she likes the feeling of it overall. And I need to wash it. I haven't done that yet. But yeah, it's a really nice bathrobe, and we paid $10 for that. And the woman who never wore it, she got it and then decided she didn't like it. And then last here, for the section upstairs today, we have this. This is, first of all, it's a mandala kind of a design thing. It's a maze, and it's a teeter board. So it's got a little nub right there in the middle. And you put your feet where the feet symbols are, and you put this, and it came with 3 marbles. And then you balance it until you make the marble go where you want it to go, which is right there. Now this isn't something I'm going to be able to do, but my wife likes this kind of thing, and she likes to keep her balance up because she likes she's rented more than one paddleboard, and she would eventually like to own her own. And this will help keep your balance trained. And I paid $5 for this at a flea market, and it's in really nice shape. It wasn't fun to look around, but it's in really nice shape, and it came with 3 marbles. You can't lose that. I can't tell if this one's glass. This one's an interesting texture to it. I think it's glass. It looks like hematite, but it's not heavy enough. And these are really strangely light. I don't know what they're made out of. Can't quite tell. They don't feel like glass. I don't know. But yeah, then we have one more section downstairs. And I've saved the best for last. A 12-inch Craftsman drill press. 3.5 amps, half-inch continuous, half continuous duty horsepower, 3,000 maximum RPMs. So I am very, very happy with this. This is cool. And I paid nothing for this. My company has a point system where every time your cell doesn't get nailed for a week by internal or external rejects, you get a point. And you you save the points up, and when you get to a certain threshold, you can cash them in. And I saved up 45 points and cashed them in and got a gift card for $250. And this was $229, plus I had $8 saved in credit at Sears, so I paid $221 for this, though it came off a gift card that I didn't have to pay for at all. So this actually cost me nothing. Next, I need to figure out how to make a transfer plate between this and the stand I have for it. So that's going to probably be my next project, is to get that taken care of. Well, actually, my next immediate project is going to be to hopefully take care of the wasps outside that I just found out are building a nest in my bulkhead structure, which I disturbed when I opened the bulkhead wall, and they already stung me once. So now I have to go take care of that. Greetings YouTube, now we're down here in the basement. So I picked up some tools at an estate sale. The stuff you're looking at here on the right here is all purchased. I think I paid $7 for this, maybe 8. But I got a Stanley plane, a brand new Irwin reciprocating saw blade, it's never been opened, a small spring clamp, and 2 Irwin quick grips, as well as this rather rusty looking pry bar, which I actually plan on reconditioning and using in a weapons build. I also have this paper shear, which I've always kind of wanted one, and I actually paid $4 for it, not $5. So I thought I'd give that a shot. I find them useful for when I'm making labels and things for packaging, so I can get nice clean edges and things. So I thought for $4, see if it's worth it. If it isn't, I haven't lost a whole lot in my investment. And we have a couple of Christmas decorations. We have this one, which is a wreath, and which is a Christmas tree, and it has a couple of different backgrounds. And I picked up those for $3 for the 2 of them. We have a lifting bar for instead of weights, and I paid $2 for that, and I got it specifically for the nuts. Because my friend Mike from Weapon Collector here on YouTube, he made a mace out of nuts like that. And my wife actually wants the bar for practicing form, without any weights. Just get her form a little down packed. It has some weight to it. And so those 2 nuts are going to end up in a weapons build. I haven't quite figured out what, because I have got some other ideas with some gears I bought not long ago. Then we have this post stake, and my friend Mike also made a weapon out of one of these. And inspired by his design, I'm going to make one of my own. And that cost me $2 at an estate sale, and it's brand new. I don't think they ever used it for anything. I'm going to end up whacking it up with a angle grinder, but For $2, it's a good investment. I think I'm going to try a different method of putting a handle on this. My buddy Mike used quarter-inch wood. And then we have these three. We have these 2 boxes of brackets for hanging and connecting lumber, and I picked up both of these for the whole thing for $3, and normally these brackets go for 60 to 80 cents a piece, and I've got dozens of these things, as well as some strange fasteners. I haven't quite figured out what they're for. They're really heavy, so I may find use for those as well. So I'm find some use for these, and for that price I really could say no.